Tim McLaughlin, and I'm the department head of the Department of Visualization at Texas A&M University. And prior to joining the faculty at Texas A&M, I was a Creature Supervisor at Industrial Light and Magic in San Francisco, California. Well, from an early age of 8 or so, I loved to draw. And my parents guided me toward architecture. So my undergraduate is actually in architecture. And my graduate degree is from the College of Architecture, but in visualization. How do you create skin that deforms and moves and looks and behaves like real skin? And so there are all sorts of things that we see when we move our skin. Bones appear, veins appear, muscles change shape, and working toward that sort of realism across a large number of projects, whether it be a human character or a dragon, were really intriguing. And some of the most interesting problems we had were where we were doing transitions or transformations from a real actor to a digital character. Sometimes that was because there was a stunt and they didn't want the real actor to do the stunt. And so we would create a digital version of the actor and transition in the shot to that actor and make sure the audience didn't see that happened. And then other times, for instance, on the film Van Helsing, we had a number of times where the character, a human character, would transform into a werewolf or into Mr. Hyde or into vampires. And those transitions are really interesting problems because we're dealing with 2D imagery and then 3D transformations in form and action. That was a lot of fun. So I had taken a lot of life drawing before I went to work in the film industry, and I continued to take life drawing and sculpture classes while I was there, which improved my sense of anatomy, my knowledge of anatomy. I also worked on my visual memory, and so watching a lot of, whether it be a wildlife documentary or a film, watch the way animals move, people move, the way they behave. There are all sorts of nuances and subtle things that make a performance more believable. And it's likely that the thing you're looking at right now won't exist when you get there if you're thinking 20 years out, because the times are changing so fast. And that was true for me. When for years growing up, I wanted to be an architect. Even when I went to graduate school, I was imagining using computing to create virtual spaces. I wound up doing that, but with objects in those spaces, with characters, creatures in those spaces. So I use the same sort of skill set, just in a different way. And so I think building skill sets and being open to the opportunities, but also in the short-term sense, directing yourself toward those opportunities.